came to the University of Maryland, I already had a few friends on campus. During the first few weeks of the semester, I became really close with my floor mates. My best friend was my roommate. It never crossed my mind to join a social sorority. Out of the 36,014 students, according to greeklife.umd.edu, only 13% are part of Greek life. More students should join social fraternities and sororities. Today, I'll discuss three things. First, I'll discuss the accessibility of these organizations. Second, I'll discuss the benefits. And third, I'll discuss the opposing views. Let me begin by discussing the accessibility of these organizations. A major question for students is, would there really be a place for me? While the numbers of social fraternities and sororities vary at different institutions, one thing remains the same: the choice. Students have a variety of fraternities and sororities to choose from. Here at the University of Maryland, according to greeklife.umd.edu, there are 14 social sororities and 24 social fraternities on campus. Another question many people think about is, how do I find out about these organizations? There are two different recruitment sessions. One takes place in the fall, while the other takes place in the spring. During these times, each organization promotes itself through open houses and other means such as flyers. Throughout the recruitment sessions, potential new members learn more about the organization's history, their events, and their philanthropy. Also, each school has their own website, which provides information about each sorority and fraternity on campus. Now that we know more about how to find out about these organizations, let's take a look at the benefits. When students arrive at large institutions such as the University of Maryland, they're intimidated by the size of the campus. Joining a social fraternity or sorority makes the campus seem a whole lot smaller. You become familiar with groups of people, you're around them all the time, you become more aware of events to attend, and there you can meet more people. Suddenly the campus you feared becomes comfortable. Also, joining such organizations builds up your resume. All fraternities and sororities have philanthropies. According to stars.umd.edu, these philanthropies range from domestic violence awareness to service for sight, as well as many others. By participating, you automatically build up your resume with many volunteer activities. As many business majors know, networking is a very important part of life. Fraternities and sororities provide a social network some people only dream of. Once initiated in these organizations, you're a link to prominent figures in America and have a plethora of new opportunities. According to the Office of Greek Life at St. Francis University, over 85% of student leaders at some 730 campuses are involved in Greek life. All but 8 U.S. presidents have been a part of a social fraternity since 1825, when the first social fraternity came about. Today, 76% of all congressmen and senators are Greek, and approximately 85% of top executives at Fortune 500 companies are either Greek social sorority women or fraternity men. Even though the Greek system offers all of these benefits, there are still those who are opposed. One of the major oppositions is that being involved in Greek life takes valuable time away from your studies. This is not quite true. While it does depend on the individual and how dedicated they are to their education, actively participating in Greek organizations pushes you to manage your time better and prioritize. One measure universities and the national organizations take to keep students focused on their studies is enforcing a rule that every chapter has to follow: a minimum grade point average. If you don't maintain this grade point average, you're not in good standing with your social fraternity or sorority. Another opposition, perhaps most represented by the media, is the issue of hazing. While this ugliness is a truth, it is not accepted or taken lightly. According to the standards and expectations for Greek letter organizations, colleges and universities must ensure that fraternity members live up to the standards expected of all students and the standards that fraternities themselves espouse. When groups or individuals fail to meet these goals, administrators and fraternity leaders must act decisively to stem further abuse and affirm the institution's overarching educational mission. Also, universities take preventive measures to make sure events such as hazing become a thing of the past. For example, the University of Maryland has the Pan-Hellenic Association, which governs over the social sororities, and the Interfraternity Council, which governs over the school's fraternities. There's also the Office of Fraternity and Social Life, which is composed of different departments that work to better the Greek system. If the chapter is found guilty of hazing, the punishments are very severe. According to Greek.umd.edu, individuals found in violation of the hazing policy can be suspended or even expelled, and the chapters face losing their local charters. As you have seen, even though there's still traces of negative traditions, social fraternities and sororities are easily accessible, and offer immense benefits. More students should become part of Greek life. Ladies and gentlemen, today I urge you to explore your opportunities, broaden your horizons. Go Greek.